All right. Why is this here? Well, at least the goals are in the right spot. All right. All right. So we need to make some objects for some of these critters. All right. So I've got a few things that I'm supposed to make. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's see. So I need to make it so we can't use that ability unless we actually explicitly want it to be used. Alright, so we'll make it so that we can toggle that aim shot on and off. Alright, well, we'll add in this aim shot thing to all of our playlist configs, so that we'll be able to use that in some game modes, not in all. So, let's see. I'll need to add to the blueprint that you can't use the aim shot if GM shot is false. I'll just wait for this to compile. Come on, boot up already. Let's see it done. Alright, let's make sure that we actually didn't screw up our JSON object. Test environment's down? Alright, let's go take a look at that. Failed to startup server cannot acquire connection to the underlying database. What? Is the database down in test? What? Your connection failed. Oh man. My database is down. What? How can this be? Notifications, updates. You have one update to a cluster. Storage is full on that guy. Alright. So what can we do about it? I like how I only allocated 10 gigabytes of fucking storage for this thing. This is great. So the database ran out of space. It's working with 10 gigabytes, and it's like, fuck. Crash. Shit. That is funny. DP instance status. Storage full. I like how they don't even have the storage listed for this thing. So let's see, why can't I do anything? Instance actions. We can't reboot, we can't do jack shit. Like, what? I don't understand this. Like, I'm trying to increase the size of the database in test, and it's just not doing anything. I can't stop it. Please wait 6 hours from when the storage optimization was completed. What? You're telling me it's faster to... Okay, it is finally fucking modifying. There's just no actual indication that it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Well, fine then. Alright, let's go to our players and add in our... can aim shot. Alright, so... I should probably just put this on the front. Okay, so we got that. So what's the next thing? I'd like to make a patrolling morgue. So if we go to characters, why don't we make a new folder here for morgue? Yeah, I need to see exactly how these entities are constructed. So if we go to morgue, so let's see, we've got pixels tall and meters tall. So how tall are morgues? Let me go see if there's anything online to... oh, storage optimization. Alright, let's see if I can connect to test. Alright, looks like we can connect to test, so... creating, attaching, metrics, working. Alright, good. Test environment's back online. So let's see, morgue. Morgue.com is morerug.com. Alright, that kind of makes sense. Also known as Bigfoot or Big Feet, large hairy bipedal vegetarians. They're guardians. It's angry. Its purple red eyes turn green. Alright, why don't we make him 2.5 meters tall? So if we got all these animations for this stuff, we'll just copy paste all the animations from Bitey so we can use those. But what I should do is I should get rid of a whole bunch of stuff. Just so it's not all crazy. How's it going? Welcome, Mind Rage. It's going well. I'm just going to be figuring out. I'm basically going to be putting in placeholders for the morgue, and I should probably. I need to clean all this up. So let's expand everything and just go down the list and make sure things look proper. So crouching, crouch turning, all those things are good. Throwing works. Punching and kicking works. Cartwheel kicks. I mean, we're not going to need those. I should be pretty aggressive about getting rid of these things because we're not going to be using them for this character. Yeah, Microsoft is buying GitHub. Welcome. Yeah, that is definitely true. They're doing that. You can never feel like you fully trust GitHub now. Well, you mean Microsoft and the government have nothing to do with each other? So I need to remember what I'm working on here with the morgues and their movement and all this stuff. Alright, so we're going to need movement data. Alright, so we'll make him just as fast as everyone else. I mean, when you think about it, like having a large open source, kind of community driven entity like GitHub, that's not as controlling as I think people want stuff to be. So it kind of makes sense that they would eventually get acquired. Just you can't let those things exist, right? Alright, so we need a new logic controller and all that sort of stuff. Alright, so this will be Morgue AI proxy. What are you talking about? Weyland-Yutani is a totally upstanding company. Do we make this guy 2.5 tall? Yeah. Fat sack, slow movement. It's just going to be morgue movement. And we're going to need the morgue entity. We're going to need... Do we have them on here? Yeah, we do. Morgue. Custom properties, none. We've got the morgue entity, name, morgue. We need the FATSEC AI. So, what is this? It's got a list of state groups and all the rest. So we're going to need to make the AI for the morgue. I don't know, when I see stuff like, GitHub getting bought out by Microsoft, and after, Microsoft got sued by the government, forever ago and stuff like that. And there's a lot of stuff in there where there was a lot of hacking tools that went into, things like Skype and other communications software. Pretty much, as far as I see it, like that's just the government acquiring GitHub, pretty much, which makes sense from a lot of just like, yeah, can't have nice things. So I have the Morg AI and the Morg standard AI group. I need to hook them all up. Alright, so we've got the Morg AI group, and we need this standard stuff that this guy can do. So what we're going to need to do is make the states for this thing. So why don't we start with just grabbing all of the states from this guy. From the fat sack and copying them over. Alright, so the Morg won't be digging, but why don't we just have an idle and a wander. Phones be limited? Yeah, phones don't always work that well with Twitch, that's for sure. Alright, so we've got our Morg AI, which is going to use our Morg movement data. It's going to have our Morg entity. It will have our Morg AI object attached to it. Alright, so let's go make the AI for this actually play the right stuff. Alright. So this will be Morg idle, and this will be Morg wander. It's been a very long time since I looked at any of this AI stuff. So we need our entity. So if we're not doing anything, we should be playing our... Alright, so we're going to say we don't want to move. We're then going to play our idle animation at its default speed of 1. So we will then pick a different action to do. Why don't we make a weighted die roll? We'll have a weighted die entry array. So what I've got is I've got a weighted die class, which basically is a die with, and you have different results for weights. So you have the option, which is, what, a string? No, we just have an integer, and then we have a weight, which is a how heavy that side of the die is, and we can figure that out. So basically, option 1 will be, a weight of 1. Yeah, so I can do static roll here for this guy. Basically, just pass this in here, and it'll return a value, which I can switch off of. So this is going to be an option 0, which we're going to wander for that guy. So simple for us to do, so we don't have to have like a random float and then a whole bunch of stuff later. We can just add entries to a random weighted die roll, and it'll just do the thing. Okay, so decision countdown, blah, blah, blah. That works. And Morg Wander, we're going to pick our roam direction, and we're going to say run. I'm actually going to use trot for this. Okay, so if our roam countdown, roam direction, so I think all we have to do is drop in a Morg and it'll start roaming around. So let's see what he does. I have no idea. I haven't spawned any of these entities in a very long time, so I have absolutely no idea if this will work. He's just gonna sit here doing his idle animation? Right, so we don't want to spawn, it's an entity proxy? No. Maybe it is. Well, he just ran off is what happened. So why when we open up the FATSAC AI does it have all this stuff, and if we open up the Morg AI, it doesn't have any of this? Just don't have the class settings open? Or these are the details panel? Okay, there it is. FATSAC standard AI group, Morg standard AI group. I mean, everything's there. These are all nuns. We've got all these guys. Oh yeah, we wanted to set this to Morg idle to start with, not Morg wander. So he should just kind of stay around for a second, then he should transition over to the wander state. Oh, I just call it wander. So we're doing all this with sweeps and stuff like that. Alright. So that should drastically make this guy a lot slower. So he just kind of does his thing. But he needs to not slide. So what we want to do with our Morg is our passive velocity change and active velocity change need to be quite high for the character. But the speed should be low, which will make him be very, very responsive, but not very fast. So he won't slide. He'll just do his thing. So what we'll want to do is we don't want this guy to run into players. So maybe if we make him a player, they won't run into each other. Let me see. Yeah, so now we're not running into each other anymore. So what should we be doing with these guys? What do we want them to do? I mean, basically I want them to walk back and forth, something like that. Now what would we do for these guys? Well, we need to have another state for this guy. We need to have a, I guess, a roar or whatever. Maybe like a pursue state is what I should call it. So let's call it pursue. So how do I want this to set up? Like these guys basically for the mission objects, these guys are gonna punch you. Alright, so on enter, we're gonna make this guy do something. Make him dance? I guess we do have the celebrate animation. Let's see, alert animation. Yeah, so it's play with duration loop by ID. That's our thing.